Severance, like when you got that script, like did they give you all the scripts all at once, or what did they give you the pilot? And then like, did you fully see the vision right away?
Right.
Or did it take you some time to kind of understand what this was?
Well, when I first heard about it, it was still just an idea.
Okay.
Ben Stiller, he called me like in January of 2017.
Wow.
And just told me the idea, just like, it's a world where you get, you're a different person at work. And then when you leave work, you have no idea what you were doing at work. But when you're at work, you have no idea who you are in the outside world. It's just a thing that I'm starting to think about with this guy, Dan Erickson. Just wanted to put it in your brain, just to think about, like, see, I don't know when this is going to happen, but just, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. But then I didn't talk to him for like another year, but I could never shake it. I couldn't get that idea out of my head, just because it's just a really simple, great idea, like a really great Twilight Zone episode or something.
Yeah.
So it wasn't till like 2 years later that I actually read a script, and I just read that first one, and I just knew I had to be a part of it. I mean, my first instinct was, I'll never actually get this role. Like, this is too good.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to get to do this. But luckily I ended up getting it. But it was like, I knew it was something that I had been waiting this whole time, this whole like 20 years or whatever, to get a role like this, it's exactly what I always wanted to do. You know, it was like, it was all converging on this one role.
Yeah, it does seem like the role of a lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Tell me a little bit about the preparation for this character for Mark.
Yeah. It's interesting because, it's like, it's almost like it's two characters, but it's a little more complicated than that because it's the same dude.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's just different parts of the same dude. Mm-hmm. It's like one of them has 40 odd years of life experience and the other one is like 2 years old, but they're the same person, essentially. So it was a pretty trippy journey figuring out how to play each side of him. And it was a lot of like trial and error and just kind of figuring it out. Just like when we were figuring out how to express what it's like to go up and down in the elevator, it took us weeks and weeks of trying different versions of it until we landed on me like, you flutter your eyes back and you change. But it took a lot of like trying things that ended up looking lame or corny or whatever till we land on the thing that's right. So it's kind of the same thing with figuring out the role, was kind of trial and error of what would work, what feels right.
Yeah. What changed in your approach from season 1 to season 2?
That's an interesting question. I think that like you were saying, like, did you see it from the beginning? Did you know like the world from the beginning?
Right.
Honestly, no, because when we started shooting in like November of 2020, none of us totally knew. And Ben had, like, you walked onto the set and you were like, oh, this is like this is a world that we're stepping into here. Right. The production design, that Jeremy so brilliantly,
it was amazing.
And the cinematography and everything, and the wardrobe and all that stuff. So we were like, okay. And then as we started shooting, we were all sort of finding the tone together, Ben leading the way, and like, let's try that, but maybe do this to it, and kind of finding this parallel kind of universe and the culture of this company and how people talk to each other and their specific kind of nomenclature of the world and how that affects the tone. It took a while to kind of zero in on that. So anyway, coming back for season 2, that was all set and we all understood it and got it. So it was a completely different experience coming back, because we all could just hit the ground running and we weren't sort of testing the waters on everything, because it's such a specific world that it took us a while to really find it in season 1.
What physical choices did you make between Any Mark and Outie Mark?
Yeah.
Because I noticed watching the show, there's like subtle differences between the two of them.
Yeah.
And it was so dope to see in season 2 the scene where you're doing the camcorder and you're talking back to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, Adam is a master. You know what I mean? Like, he's just an incredible actor. Like this, like you see in each flip back, it's like, it's you, but it's two different energies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like what are the little intricacies and little different things that you put in there?
Sure. Well, thanks for saying that. I think that where I ended up landing when I was trying to figure it all out, I wanted to find the quickest, simplest way, just as a starting point. And then there's all kinds of accoutrement stuff to figure out from there. But I wanted to find like a really simple, like almost like starting mark for the character. I meant like a mark that you start from, and then the character's name is actually Mark. So that's and so I started working from a place of like, maybe the Innie, because he's kind of new to the world and has a lot of faith in the world that is, as he knows it,
right,
has a lot of belief, and that needed to, over season 1, get shattered a little bit once Helly kind of starts showing him the world as it is rather than it. And so, and then the Outie Mark is a shattered person, a broken person who's lost faith and lost belief with everything.
Yeah.
And that reflects directly on how he feels about himself, is pushing everything away because he's really stuck. He can't move on from this tragedy that happened a couple of years ago. So I sort of started approaching it from, maybe Any Mark is an accumulation of everything that I like about myself, me, Adam, and Outie Mark is everything I dislike and am embarrassed about myself. And like, maybe each is a manifestation of those things, just to try and find a personal place to start. And so Any Mark had good posture and, kind of speaks clearly and is very presentational and very kind of performative in some ways. And Outie Mark has bad posture like I do, and I'm always embarrassed about it if I see a photo and I'm just like, why do I do that? And it's all about, for me, bad posture is all about like how I feel about myself in any given moment, you know? Right. So those were kind of the starting places. And then I went from there. I think Any Mark, I remember as a kid, a really distinct memory of mine is my mom sort of calling me on this performative tic I had, which was when I would speak to someone that I was trying to impress or trying to show a certain side of me, my voice would get higher. And I remember her being like, your voice changes when you talk to this person or that person. And I remember being really embarrassed about it and really defensive about it, but realizing that she was right. There is like a higher register when I'm like trying to, I don't know, make a good impression, I guess is probably what it comes down to. And so that there's a very subtle difference in the register of how they speak, because Outie Mark is, again, kind of like beaten down and has this kind of a lower register. Anyway, those were kind of places where I started.
Well, it was a beautiful performance.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.